Hi guys, I'm Katie Room from Periapsispress.com, where I review indie sci-fi and fantasy books. Welcome back to our book club. With me today is Patrick from Cave to the Cross and S. Kirk Pierzchala, or Sarah, author of Echoes Through Distant Glass. Tonight, we're going to continue with our spooky season read with Three Black Nights by T.J. Marquis. And you guys can't see that. There we go. I have a black and white Kindle. The effect of the red eyes is somewhat diminished.
Sure. That's how you know that thing is evil in there.
As I mentioned last week, I reviewed TJ's Heroes Metal series, but I completely forgot to mention the more thematically applicable Bloodbane. I'll just grab that. There's monsters in this one. It's a little bit more in the horror feel rather than the heroic fantasy feel. But I completely forgot about that one. I think he even fights something like zombies. So that was an oversight on my part. I apologize. TJ is definitely an author that I recommend. And so far, these short stories have not disappointed. Today, we are discussing the second of the three stories, Den of the Necrolord. The blurb for the book refers to this story as a midnight delivery for a death-drinking fae. This one is maybe a bit more intense. We did have one reader who doesn't usually read horror to tap out. So I loved it. So I'm very excited to talk about it with you guys.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I noticed some similarities with Bloodbane because I read that one a while ago, and
Nice.
which I liked, but I actually kind of like the world building in this one better. Even though it was so short, I thought he did a really good job with what was there. It seemed real, and even the rapport between the main character and his sidekick. Even though there wasn't much there, I mean, it worked and it was believable, and I really appreciate that.
Me too. The world building this one, the world building of the first one, Spice of the Apocalypse, which we talked about last week, has kind of a setup stage and then the story stage.
Yeah, it's almost like a prologue.
Yeah. And this one doesn't have that. It's very well integrated.
Yeah,
the slow reveal of details.
Yeah, it expects you to almost be aware of the story or like the setting or what's happening, and it peppers details throughout. It doesn't hold your hand, and that piques the interest at times.
Yes, very much so. I love a setting driven story. This one I wouldn't say is setting driven necessarily, but a lot of my interest in what was going on was driven by the setting.
Yeah.
That's how I would explain it. Our main character this time is a delivery truck driver. I really love how TJ has these sort of working heroic characters.
That's right.
Last week it was a factory worker who maybe is not as heroic as possibly could be, but Bloodbane has a lumberjack who is a bit more heroic. So I was excited, pleased.
Yeah. So
Ordinary
he's had, like,
people.
the lumberjack, the factory worker, and then the trucker.
Yeah.
I liked about Dan the Destroyer that we did, or I think you guys did. It was just like some schlub guy who was in the military for a little bit, but then he just became a computer programmer. Like that's the character I need. I'm invested.
So Grant is this truck driver in a world where these dark creatures exist just outside the walls of the city, or the walls. He has picked up a shift in the hopes of getting a particular delivery assignment. He has a coworker named Bam, who bums a cigarette, and they chat a bit. At this point, there are already so many reader questions that it doesn't slow down. Like they are smoking and talking, and it's already we're feeling some uh, momentum to the story because the delivery that Grant wants is a necro delivery to a Necrolord client named Maka. And Grant has been through 5 agencies in his attempt to get this assignment.
Yeah. I always felt like as we progressed through the story, this was like a side story in what was it, Bright from Netflix, where it was like that combined world of it is our world, but what if fairies were real and orcs and the rest of them. So the slow reveal was went along with the suspense. So yeah, I really enjoyed the storytelling in this. No hand holding, just gets you through the plot with the pepper of just enough to wet your whistle for kind of the have them want more. I definitely did at the end.
We should point out, it's not fairies and orcs.
Not this time.
We get some really great setting elements because he does get the assignment, and Bam is well and told to ride shotgun. They carry gremlin prods while they check over the truck. And
yeah, that was
like
the first big
thing.
clue for me that there was something else going on here.
It's like checking yourself for ticks in the Midwest here. You're just like, okay, behind the ears, under the armpit. Okay, I'm good.
And riding shotgun, you carry a literal shotgun.
That's right.
They go through a checkpoint and a ward gate through these sort of magical walls to leave the city. Basically, everybody gets the creeps when they hear that it's a necro delivery, and you just kind of know that it's dead remains. But that's it. That's all you know. They talk a little bit. Grant reveals that his mom died last year, and Bam says he's waiting to marry his girlfriend or wanting to. She's been talking about having kids, and he thinks that it would be a good idea to get married first because he's heard that if you're married, it's less likely that doppels will steal the baby, which I assume is a short form of doppelganger. So that's kind of an interesting tidbit. They live within the walls, but there's still things that will target them, I guess. Mm-hmm. And the symbolism of the ring and oaths and bonds and things are mentioned as being part of that protection.
The things revealed within the characters, just normal everyday dialogue. There's no expedition dump. There's no, as you know, we live in a world where, fairies are the demon, and the comet passed over us 30 years ago and it split our world in two. Nope, none of that. You're just trying to figure out. Anytime a weird word comes up, I'm like, all right, what proto Babylonian god is this referring to? And I'm doing the research, which is always fun. You find those little, like David room in his book has little ships or characters that are mentioned. You're like, I know that's familiar from somewhere, and you look it up and it's like a wink and the nod to the audience.
Yeah. And everything that's mentioned is malicious or ill-intentioned. There aren't any good fairies here.
No, it was really dark.
They come to a thinning across the highway. It's not explained. It's just kind of like a mist Well, that's how I imagined it. I guess I don't remember if those words are particularly used, and it's not really explained exactly what it is. Maybe it's where worlds come together.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of what I assumed because you hear the term thinning of the veil,
yeah,
and so I immediately assumed, oh, it's some sort of a contact point or entry or whatever.
yeah,
My notes
and
have a lot of good question marks. Just assuming things.
yes, it's uh, a lot of here's a tidbit of information, and you sort of have all of these prior associations that you sort of pin to it.
Hmm.
And it works.
Yeah,
Works wonderfully.
right. So it's not frustrating, which I definitely appreciate. There's enough there, and it just feels like the logical progression of course this is what they have to do, or this is the world they live in, so they have to, you know, literally ride shotgun, or just some of the ammunition used is just you kind of get it from the name, but you don't know all the benefits surrounding it, but it all works.
And things come out of the thinning. They actually pull over, which I wasn't expecting. I sort of thought that they would try to run it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But they
I wouldn't get out of the truck if I was.
yeah. So is this something to like that they know they have to do to protect the cargo, and so they just resign themselves to the fate of having to fight it, or this is the point where your Final Fantasy character zooms in and you're ready for a fight, and then once you defeat the six bad guys, you can zoom back out and continue on your journey.
Yeah.
I also think this is the closest you'll get to an exposition dump where you know a lot more is revealed of the world. That if this scene was skipped, it wouldn't hurt it, but it adds to the benefit of us, the reader, but also the Bam and Grant together. It gives them a battle buddy after this. So that's they kind of know they can trust each other after this.
Mm-hmm. We get the sense that our main character has a level of competence fighting, but that he's not, perfect because he needed Bam to save him. We also learned that Bam got his nickname, Bam, from similar encounters, so that's fun. But they fight 6. I'm going to pass it over to Patrick for pronunciation.
Oh, good. Asifs.
Asifs. That's short for acephalus.
Yeah.
These creatures don't have a head.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that that's Latin. Because I don't speak Latin. That's why I need
It's a
Patrick.
real English word. It's a real English word. Like
a real English word.
Yeah, it's an adjective to describe something without a head.
I've never heard this before.
Why would you need a word for that? But I guess even in English, we need
that. And there's some nice question about what they are, whether they're actual beheaded criminals or if they're demons that just look like they don't have a head.
Which again, the world is still shrouded in mystery. Not even the nice humans going about their business, driving truck, know what's really going on, but they're kind of just...
They know enough,
yeah,
which
exactly.
is they've got to shoot these things.
Yes.
Which they do with buckshot and rock salt.
And rock salt, yep.
Yes.
I'm watching Supernatural again, and rock salt plays a definite part in the shotgun blasts in those as well.
Yeah.
It's just always funny to watch main characters blow ghosts away with shotgun, and you're like, well, there's salt in there, so that makes
salt,
sense.
Yes. I was going to say, like, as one does, right?
Yeah.
And then they get a new enemy that's faster and meaner. They are called Red Eyes, which Patrick, as he said last week, and I think already this week, Red Eyes means bad. They are
Yeah.
big and they have claws. And when it looks at Grant, he sort of loses his will to fight. And that's why Bam needs to come and save him.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have been out of the picture if he would have gotten his way because he didn't want really anybody to come with him. He was hoping Bam would take the bait and kind of give up the night and he could ride solo to wherever he's going.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an example of just how impressive it was that he was able to get all that layered in such a just those few short scenes
Yeah.
and exchanges. Yeah, it was really impressive.
And it really is. I think we're only a few pages in at this point.
Yeah, and it is from Grant's perspective. You get some of his thoughts, but not everything, and that adds to kind of the suspense. I mean, you kind of get more of it when we get to the next plot point, but it's nice that we don't have even a running dialogue for it. I think what TJ does well here is this could have been way longer, but for whatever restrictions he has to himself, whether word count or pages, he makes good use of really every single page.
I agree. Grant, his belt with an ammo pouch that has 2 Phoenix shot bullets. That if he sold one, he could quit his job for a year, is what Bam says. But obviously, Grant is not going to do that. He's going to keep them because he has a use in mind. They get in the truck and they drive through the thinning. It doesn't dissipate, right? They just drive through it.
Yeah, able to zoom
Yeah.
out from your battle, and you can drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Encounter finished.
Yeah.
Victory.
Get your experience points.
They reach Maka's compound, and it's actually across the highway. And it's not nearly as impressive as the walls and the ward gate that they came through. It's more of a formality to keep people from ramming the truck through. But it is there. And they have to pass guards to get in. These guards are question mark people. They have red hands and that look like they've been dipped in paint, and a helm of like a collage of animal parts.
Skulls, yeah.
Yeah. Then similar workers unload the truck. But we have another conversation between Bam and Grant, and this one's a little more tense because Bam figures out that Grant is here for a different payday.
Yeah, he figures it out.
Grant is a hunter, and he is after a very big trophy. Grant is honest and upfront with him, but he won't leave with him. Bam tries to get him to go, but Grant grabs a duffel bag and then tells Bam to take the truck. Says, do what you have to do. And then he goes inside. And I'm like, nope, I'm with Bam. I'm out.
I think at this point, you kind of think it's that there must be more than just getting the trophy for money. There's got to be a deeper reason for why he's doing this. Like maybe really very subtle. At least looking back after finishing it, it's like, oh yeah, he's got to have a better motive than just.
Well, if you were a hunter, even with a big like reward, you would
You
think,
mean like the thrill of the hunt?
well, yeah, but like you would think that going into the Necrolord's den to shoot him would be a little high risk for
Yeah, yeah,
just
definitely. Yeah. So there has to be another motive.
right.
Yeah, he's not the operator, right? He's not the former CIA guy who's got like 12 necks underneath his collar, and he knows every single weapon, and he's got 12 knives stashed on him just in case. This guy has maybe a plan.
Yeah. Which you get that little whiff of desperation. Like he's got like one or two shots at this sketchy plan. Why is he really doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. He has sort of a plan because he is prepared. He
Oh yeah,
he does have some sort of information person, presumably the one who hired the hit, but maybe somebody else. Because he has a duster and a helm that he made.
which is
That
awesome. A wolf, an ape, and a deer skull. Like uh, an ape skull? Where did you find an ape skull in order to craft this thing and then to combine it? I really would like to see the board sketch for this
was
one.
just at the corner apothecary. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
There were demons in that apothecary too, and this Western guy with his weird wife came out of nowhere after getting takeout.
And they blew the whole place up.
It was terrible.
uh yeah, he puts all this stuff on in a janitor's closet.
Which I love
And
that it's a janitor's closet because, like, well, yeah, of course, like this demon lord is going to need like cleanup from time to time. So I just appreciate just the normalcy of like the bureaucracy of
yes,
things.
like
Yeah.
the from the point that we entered the compound, like the word compound instead of like I don't know, more necro words. Like, we didn't get like this isn't a gothic castle or anything, but there's a guard who's like follow the signs, and then there's guys who are like come on, can we unload now?
Yeah.
And now there's a janitor's closet. It's a very utilitarian.
I wonder if that's the purpose of like being in our world too, because like right, turn right, all delivery vehicles turn right, all cult members turn left, and like it just there's always this heightened sense of like dread, but at the same time like things get lowered, like oh we're in front of this gate, but the gate's like some wood that stops the trucks from going through, and then there's signs along the way like this is the Bugs Bunny cartoon of like secret lair, turn back now, there's nothing here.
You just kind of picture just a sign in like more of the industrial section of town, right? Like all trucks use this street entrance. Like not this one, that one over there.
Yeah, there's like this ornate like black mantle anti-church, and then like an offshoot office where the tax guy tells Maka how much he owes the IRS.
Grant makes his way to an amphitheater, and his disguise is working. Even though he doesn't have red hands, he wasn't expecting that. He doesn't have red hands, but a guard that kind of he goes into the amphitheater and just kind of stands there getting the lay of the land, and another guard kind of comes up and starts up a conversation with him, again feeling very like, close to the labor here.
Yeah.
He calls him an unsullied, which is someone who hasn't dipped their hands in red yet, whatever it is that makes them red.
It's definitely paint. There's nothing else that can be red with the Necrolord.
The necro delivery is there. That's where the workers brought it, and a head priest buys Grant's disguise as well, and tells him to fill a spot that's empty in the theater. So Grant is trying to find Maka to kill him, I assume. at this point, and he can't because he's been given an assignment, a work assignment. But luckily for him, Maka comes to this ceremony. So the amphitheater fills up with people. I say people, they're cultists, and we assume they're mostly human. It's things get weird. They get really weird. Maka's on the stage sitting on a throne, and they start passing around the necro, which is a liquid. So liquefied dead people.
Yeah, at this point, I was reading it really late at night before going to sleep, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop now. I hope I don't have bad dreams. I didn't, but it was like, I don't think should be the last thing I read before I go to sleep.
This is definitely the more intense. The descriptions are very visceral. You feel like you're there. Somebody gets sullied. Maka just picks someone, and Grant is like, not me, not me, not me. And it's not him. Luckily for him, it's not him. Everybody starts getting plastered, really drunk, and culty, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just screaming and having a good time, a very good time, fighting and
stabbing each other. As you do.
And the guards sort of break stuff up, mostly by punching people.
Yeah, even Grant's saying, like, I just punched broke two guys' jaw. I did what had to be done, and no one notices.
Nobody notices. Yeah. And he's like pleased with himself. He's like, this is fun. Get to punch some cultists. Maka is getting drunk, and he falls out of his chair, and that's when he decides to call it a night. And Grant follows him as he goes to like deeper into the compound. And we learned that
Maka's not this normal dude either, right? Like he kind of looks like what Grant does with this mantle and robe as well. But to me, that's him, right? Like the robe is there to keep like his innards and like black goo that the cultists, the unsullied become sullied, stick their hands in, and just has a part of their soul taken or whatever it is. And he's got like glowing gold eyes, and that's how you know he's a bad guy, because he's got glowing eyes. Also, like what was it? Ox skull and antlers, hanging rotting flesh off his bones. Like this is a Wendigon, just cryptid who's come to life and started his own cult as a 501c3.
Yes, I totally skipped his description. I forgot to mention it here. Yes. Ugh.
It was very vivid.
Yeah. So the buildup of the story is done well, but as I was saying in our private chat, the adjectives and the description of what's there adds to the kind of dread, and things move quickly, but tension is really well built and held with those little moments. So like when he's discovered by a guard, uptick, and then the guard's like, well, sorry I was late, okay, decrease a little bit, and then the priest comes in.
Like the tension decreases, but then there's like a humor payoff, right?
Right. Yeah, but not Marvel. We're gonna quip in the face of danger.
Right.
More like a breathe out the side of your mouth, and you're glad that that you can keep going on with your mission.
We learned that Grant is here for Maka's mantle, and bringing it back and selling it would set him up for life. But again, there's that sort of feeling like this seems like a lot of risk just for that. Like at any moment, he could be like at any one of these points, he could have been discovered, and like who knows what would have happened to him, right? In the Necrolord's den.
Yeah, this is it seems like a big payout. So this isn't like his kid is dying of cancer and he's got one last miracle cure that's $1 million. This seems like a way higher risk even for that.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Grant is preparing his Phoenix shot, planning to shoot Maka kind of in the grody bits, the rotten, fleshy goo.
That's right.
Maka goes to his room and has like this nest, and he gets in it and he falls asleep. But when Grant goes to shoot him in his bed, he's like, I have no qualms about shooting this guy in his sleep.
Yeah, he's not human, so you can shoot him in the sleep.
Maka wakes up and like looks into Grant's eyes, and Grant just freezes. And he has these very vivid like nightmare visions. There's several visions of him sort of dying, like this strange woman stabbing him with a knife, like being like she stabs him and then like he's killed by a mob. And then it says that there's more. And then he has a vision where he's strangling his own mother to death in a hospital. And that makes Grant sort of wake up because he knows he didn't kill his mother. That's when we learned that it was Maka who killed her. She was part of some sort of sacrifice. That is his underlying motivation that we've sort of been hinting at. There must be something.
It's not money, it's personal.
The way that it's revealed, you're like, oh yeah, that would wake you up, right?
Yeah. And the only mention of his mother is one moment at the very beginning of Bam and him talking in the car of like, got family? No, my mom just died a year ago. And then it focuses more on Bam to kind of like put you almost care more about that part of the conversation with Bam because you get more revealed about the universe you're in, about the world. Mm-hmm. And so okay, your mom died, whoop-de-doo. Well, here's the whoop-de-doo part. Like,
yeah. It's a little misdirection.
Yeah.
In
perfect.
That conversation.
Kiss. Yeah.
He regains control enough to fire the Phoenix shot. Just the one, and it works. Which is lucky because he needs the second one. The head priest comes in and finds Grant and Maka dead. This head priest attempts to cast some sort of magic, and Grant shoots the other bullet, and they sort of collide, and neither of them is harmed. And then Grant kills him with the knife, right?
Yeah, throws it in his skull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that was done pretty quickly.
Yes.
It wasn't a long drag out epic battle. It was just like, do what you need to do, get it over with.
Yeah, there wasn't like he punched him and then swiped up, and it was just like
yeah,
2 steps. Fire, knife.
I will say I did cheat a little bit because when it describes him witnessing his own death, I was like, oh, is he going to kill the main character? And like, is this going to be a sad ending? I was just seeing how many more pages there were. So I was like, okay, there's a few more pages. So I'm gonna pretend I didn't see any of that. So I just went based on sight, not on reading. So
You didn't read the ending. You just were like, is there?
yeah, I was like, oh, you get the sad ending every once in a while. So
Well, especially with short stories,
right.
I feel like it is more common to get that whamp whamp, you're done, right? Like,
Yeah.
but we do not get that here. It's very satisfying. Grant removes Maka's head. That's
Kind of
lovely.
easily.
And then there's a whole bunch of trophies on the walls, is how it's described when he first comes in. And from among these, he finds his mother's crucifix and takes it. He takes the head priest's clothes and headdress. So he came in as just kind of a generic worker, and he's leaving as the head priest, moving up in the world.
There's +2 bonus in there somewhere.
And he's got Maka's head wrapped in a coat, I think. And he manages to get out just fine. Puts the head in a bag, back in the duffel bag when he gets back to his own clothes. And everybody's still in this sort of drug-induced party, so doesn't seem like anybody has any idea what's happened.
Which is still very on point to the story, because it does feel like, Maka's this big bad guy, and then every kind of little interaction, we go, well, this isn't that cool, or he's scary, he's got power, right? But he's not like he looks at Grant in the helm and then just passes over him when he's in the Unsullied. So he doesn't like stare into his soul. He just seems to like choose somebody from the crowd and like, you number 53, it was your time. It wasn't like, oh, I'm the chosen one or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so like it just seems to be like, well, yeah, they're all like drug-induced coma, beating each other, stabbing each other in the stomach, and then he's just able to leave.
Yeah.
Like, well, that was a little easy, but also good. First of all, short story. Second of all, very on point with what we've seen so far.
It reminded me, the vibes a little bit reminded me, not just of Bloodbane, but a little bit of like something like Big Trouble in Little China.
Right.
That
Although,
mixture of this otherworldly
we'd be following Bam in that
horror.
story.
Yeah.
He's a truck driver in that one, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Russell
Just
sure
occurred
is.
to me. Very much so. He escapes the compound. Once he's outside, he's like, I succeeded, and now I am not in the walls of the city, and I have to walk there. And you get just a few moments of like, is he just gonna die out here?
Yeah, this is the Mogadishu mile of the Fae.
But then he finds that Bam is still there with the truck. There was a nice moment where he thought the headlight or the tail lights were red eyes.
Yeah.
But it's the truck.
It's a little heartwarming. I do like.
Yes.
You fall a little bit more in love with Bam in that moment there too.
Isn't he like asleep too? It's just chilling.
He was just gonna wait there for some time.
And they quickly escape. Grant has avenged his mother, and they stop at his house or his home. I think it's in his apartment. Yeah. He changes, puts on his mother's necklace, and then the two of them go out for breakfast at a diner.
I'd say head on ice too.
Oh yes, yeah. Gross. Grant says that he's going to give Bam a cut, of the money that he gets. And then they hear a news report that Maka's camp has burnt to the ground, which Grant's like, I didn't do that. So, but looking at the scene as he leaves, you're like, yeah, I believe it.
Someone knocked over the candlestick and was like, I can't tell anybody.
It just, you feel like this is a evil cult that is just seeped in incompetence.
Yeah,
in addition to being evil.
I mean, this is where do you find good henchmen? Like the best henchmen are going to work for like the government. They're not going to work for the cult. Like Joker's men. You have a good chance of being killed at random because it's a funny gag. I don't know. I don't know if I want to join that. Maybe Two-Face. He's more gangster, but yeah, I'm going to steer clear of Joker.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, Maka, it's like, I mean, there's got to be drugs. There's other drugs. I mean, meth probably exists in this world still, too. If we want to destroy our bodies and souls, we can do it a different way. I need to stick my hands in the goo of Necrolord.
Nasty.
And then just never wash them. It's either like permanently stained or like you just never wash. And either way, it's gross.
That's like shaking the president's hand. I'm never going to wash this hand.
They have a kind of a funny conclusion that instead of mere incompetence and drunken revelry, maybe it was the ghost of Grant's mother, who was a real spitfire, who burnt down the camp. And that is the conclusion. I loved this story.
100%. Yeah. It's the race against the clock. It's the under the disguise of where you shouldn't be, and because it's a short story, you don't get in that trap of, all right, you're already there way too long. There's no way you're gonna find 16 different rooms, and yeah, they may be interesting, but then you have to defeat the trap, or you got to put the three-headed dog to sleep, or fight the 12 ninjas. But no, this is straight through, reveals of story, those little misdirections that are nice, and doing an internet search to find your keywords of, I'm pretty sure this is important. I'm gonna look this up. Oh yeah, that of course that's what it was. Yeah. So and then just the descriptions of that added to the dread of it. It was that ticking clock with the high stakes, which was it just read well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a real little gem
to do right before you go to bed.
I think this one definitely hits that horror category, but it's still driven by the promise of action and payoff. You get that early interaction with the monsters out of the thinning, and then you get more action a little bit later. You don't expect him to kill Maka in his sleep, right? Like you're just
which he does too. He's like, wow, this worked. I'm kind of shocked. and there's just a little hint of Christianity in there, with no sermon. He doesn't have to go into the bathroom and suddenly become a Christian, or he doesn't have that. Bam. There was one man who died, but he rose again. None of that. Just the little cross necklace is all I need.
Right.
All right. Is there anything else that you guys would like to make sure that we hit on before we wrap up?
This was somebody who shot the devil with a gun. Just saying. Call back.
Yes, I liked it. And I think that both of the two stories that we've read so far in this have been excellent examples of TJ's prowess as an author. So I encourage you, if this sounded interesting, what?
Can I do one? We talked about maybe some other anthology where the short story was an avenue to introduce your main characters for your main story. This introduces TJ as an author, and if I already didn't subscribe to his whatever he puts out and just buy that, this would make me go out and search those out. The author makes me interested in at least in two stories. I probably would have bought him for the first one. This one I would have definitely like picked up his main book if I didn't already have it. The short story done well, and in fact I might pick up because this story was a part of an anthology series, and I might go and find that anthology series and pick that one up. Sidearm and Sorcery Volume 2, which I do, again, I appreciate that he put that in there. Like, he could have stuck it in the copyright or wherever it might be.
It opens up opportunity for you to find another book that you would enjoy. That's nice. So we encourage you to check out Three Black Knights. And again, I put it right with there. By TJ Marquis, as well as Bloodbane and everything else that he's written.
Anything. Periapsis Christmas.
Yes. Thank you to Patrick and to Sarah for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful discussion with you guys. And encourage you guys, if you would like to participate in future discussions, reach out to me and I will send you an invite to my Discord, which is where we sort of set this sort of thing up. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, either about our discussion or about the story if you've read it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great one.